Hello, everybody. No music today. I forgot to throw on the music because we actually got some questions this week. So the whole topic of this comes from we're talking about like your side hustle in real estate. And I saw a post in the group that Malcolm and I run together that said, now that real estate has gotten slow, what are you doing for a side hustle? And I hope to the gods above that you are now thinking about social media in a completely different way, especially when it comes to YouTube, because the best way to get the best clients for you and what you're looking for in your business is from YouTube. So if you're having extra time now, your side hustle needs to be YouTube. That's what you need to be focusing on. So what do you want to say about that, Joe?
I agree 100%. Like the last few years, we've been inundated with deals and people and not really having a chance to, we've been working in the business and doing everything with business, but we've never really had a chance to work on the business. And now's the time to work on your business. And a lot of people like you mentioned is like, what's the side hustle? But really it's, hey, what you have time now, really get in and deep dive into YouTube and make your content pop so that you can then generate more leads. That's, in my opinion, you have more time now than you did for at least the last 2 years, maybe 3 years, to actually put together a really good content strategy. And if you haven't done anything on YouTube, this is a great time to pivot and actually start putting content on to YouTube for sure.
And it isn't just like in YouTube has changed so much. Like, so let's just say you had a YouTube channel and you're kind of like sprinkled it in because you had to do it for the last couple of years. And now you're like trying to get back into it. There's so much that's changed and it's always changing on YouTube. And it's important for you to keep up to date what's going on. Not only that, Joe and I have been like really diving into what AI can do to help your YouTube channels. So, I mean, there's so many no more tools now that it can help you. Now, none of these tools are going to make your content for you. That if anybody's trying to sell you that, that's a bunch of horse pucky. It's just these are tools that will help you along the way. It makes like researching a bunch so much easier and diving into other people's channel, just being able to break that down, understanding your avatar, those kinds of things. That's what these new AI tools are truly for. But you guys have such an advantage now, much more than people that had started channels years ago. And that's another point, Joe. Let me ask you this. Is it too late to start a brand new YouTube channel now and think that you're going to be successful?
Absolutely not. This is, it's a pin drop in this bucket of YouTube. There, people are like, is it too late? Did I miss it? No, absolutely not. This is the best time right now moving forward to get on YouTube. I know a lot of people compare and say, well, this person's been doing it and I'm behind and I'm never going to catch up. Guess what? That it is a blue ocean out there, especially in real estate. Like there's so much that is available because it does take work, it does take effort, and you have to like really be dedicated. But for someone to say, oh, it's saturated and it's, you're just not going to get it, that's just absolutely not true. There is so much opportunity on YouTube right now.
There really truly is. And what if somebody says to you, because I've had this happen, what if somebody says to you, look, I hear what you're saying, but I have in my specific area, there are 5 real estate agents on YouTube, and 3 out of the 5 are killing it. Like I'll never catch up to their numbers. What do you say about that?
Well, first of all, I would ask them, well, what does killing it mean? Like, what
Right.
does that mean? Killing is you got 1,000 views? Is that killing it? Like, I don't know. I would say first and foremost, if you're focused on your area, in our course, we teach your location is not your niche. Like that's the biggest thing, is that understanding who your avatar is and what your niche is and being able to cast a wider net. It doesn't matter if they're the digital mayor in that location. You can gain a lot of momentum and a lot of traction by understanding what YouTube wants and understanding how to get your content so that YouTube is like, hey, they're doing what we like. We're going to serve it up to more people. So when you say, there's people that say that, I say that they need to change their outlook, and they need to change their thinking. That their thinking is that, it's a scarcity mentality rather than an abundance mentality of like, there is so much out there. Even if there were 100 agents or 1,000 agents or 100,000 agents, there's still only one you. And that's the big thing in YouTube that makes people like gravitate towards certain personalities and certain ways that people talk and communicate. So we're unique. And so no matter if we're selling the exact same product, it's going to be shared in a different way because of who we are and our life experience.
One thing that I want people to be aware of is that the other reason why we say that YouTube should be your side hustle, it isn't just about selling real estate, right? You can turn your YouTube channel into a money-making machine of all sorts of different things. Like no matter what, if you like it or not, we're marketers first, and part of marketing is influencing. And if people start listening to you and you start talking about an alarm system during your videos, you can start getting paid for that. And you should be paid for that. And if the market does shift, like the housing crash bros say, you're going to be set up in a position to allow yourself to not have to sell a house that month. Like nothing's going to happen to you financially if you don't have to sell a house that month, because you have all these affiliate links and sponsorship videos in your library of YouTube content, and you'll be making money without even having to sell a home. That's what we teach in our course too. It's not just about, getting buyer and seller leads. This is a working machine that can make you money all the way down. That's why we say this is your side hustle. It isn't just that you sell homes. And every real estate course that we ever take about financing, they say you need to have several streams of income. And YouTube AdSense is just the tip of the iceberg. Anybody
Right.
that has been making serious money on YouTube, it's through affiliates and sponsorships. And you guys need to be looking at that. I know that you guys are like, well, I just want buyer and seller leads. I get that. But if you're putting the effort into making these videos, you doing a 30-minute spot in between your videos for a brand that can bring you an additional $1,500 a month, why would you throw that away? Why would you just say, no, I'm not going to do that? That makes absolutely no sense.
Yeah, that you bring up a good point. One of our students actually, he called me scrambling because he's like, dude, I made a video and it's blowing up right now about a closet light that's not connected to any electrical. You just attach it to the ceiling and then you press it. He's like, it's going crazy. I got to get an affiliate link right now to link it to Amazon so that I can start getting paid on it. And so like he saw the value of that off of a video that he was making to help people understand, hey, if you have a closet that doesn't have a light in it, here is a light that, and he was just doing like kind of like a little instructional video of how to use it. And then it blew up and he was like, I need to get my affiliate link. But he was like, I'm so glad that you guys talked about that because it didn't even cross my mind. And now it's like, he's like, dude, I'm doing it for anything that I'm doing. I'm checking first to see if there's someone that will pay me, because I'm going to be talking about it anyways. So is there someone that will pay me? And then I'm putting that link when I do it. So it's crazy.
Right. And then I don't know if anybody got this email today. There was another email that came out from YouTube that says that they're going to be connecting you to brands. And I want to caution everybody when you look at that email, yes, it makes things really simple because it's all connected to your channel and everything. But YouTube doesn't do anything to help the creator unless it's going to make them money. So they're going to be taking a cut of that when you ever make those brand deals through YouTube. If you are even looking at those and thinking, well, maybe this is something I should do, before you even do that, just start reaching out to the brands that you want to work with. It's a simple email. Just say, I have a YouTube channel. This is, this is what I want to do. Email the marketing department and see what they have to say. I mean, see what they have to offer you. And
and if you don't know how to write it, have ChatGPT help you construct it.
ChatGPT is like literally our assistant. Our assistant is the bomb. They are there morning, noon, and night. We use ChatGPT for just about everything.
Yeah.
Just about everything. So living in Rochester, Minnesota says, I started a YouTube channel, YouTube videos in 2020 when COVID was new and there was so much uncertainty. It's feeling similar now, and that's why I need to leverage YouTube again and do it even better. Well, I bet it's feeling that way too, since the interest rates just dropped, and then like all of a sudden, everybody under the sun is now getting pre-approved for a loan this week.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was talking to my lender today, and he was like, "Yeah, I mean, we just filled out 23 loan applications this morning." I'm like, "Are you joking?" He's like, "Nope." So crazy. Yep. This is what I want to focus on too. Yeah, Rebecca, we're working with you. Rebecca's part of the course. Thank you, Rebecca. She's gonna knock it out of the park next year.
Yep.
She's
Yeah.
a that's what's really great about the students that we have. Just to plug our course a little bit, I'm just gonna tell you that the students that we have, we all come from a place of collaboration, and we have a tight uh, book of people on our Discord. And anytime there's a question, like they're not, we can't answer everything at all the time, right? Not in the middle of the night. But sure enough, there's somebody awake and they're all helping each other out. Every single person in there that's in that Discord, we're all a community that helps one another, which is awesome.
Yeah.
They're helping each other with thumbnails and titles. And what the best part is that they're literally repeating what we would have said anyways. So I'm always like, when I got in there, I'm like, wow, guys, thanks so much. I don't even have to say anything.
It's just, I concur.
I concur, you guys. I concur. So, that's the whole thing. Whenever you're doing this and you're trying to up your game and use YouTube as your side hustle, it's really important to have a good group of people behind you that can support what you're doing and are on the same page as you, so that when you are going through this whole process of either creating content or, maybe even sponsorships, someone in that, in your group might have already done it. Or
Yep.
if they haven't, you can all learn together. So that way you guys are lifting each other up. And that's all that does, is whenever you create a community like that, all it does is mean your content is going to get better, and you're just going to be better all the way around, whether they're in your specific area or not. Never look at people in our area or in our niche of real estate as competition. And that's very difficult for people to wrap their brains around, but they shouldn't ever feel like that. There's people that have literally ripped off my thumbnail, my title, and every single point I made in the video, every single one of them. And do you know what I do? I call them up and say, "Hey, I think you've been watching my content. You want to work together?" No
Yeah.
joke. I do it every single time, every time. And that's how you guys should do it too. You shouldn't be afraid. I mean, it's a compliment, and this is an opportunity for you to grow together.
Yeah, and I think that, building on that is, as it's not a natural thing that we do, right? It's not something that we naturally say, "Oh, I like, let me share everything." It's almost like you have to like condition your thinking a little bit more of, how can I offer value, and then when I have it, if I have an abundance mentality, or if I share my secret, no, it doesn't bring you down. It brings everybody up. And as you do that, you're obviously good at what you do, so you even get that much better. I mean, there's lots of examples of what you can do, but like in the course that you and or the Facebook that you and Malcolm run, there's lots of questions, and a lot of people are super helpful in there, and they take time out of their day to help someone that has a question, that, and I very, very rarely see someone with a snarky comment, or a comment that's
Well,
like,
they get
"Oh,
rid of
I would."
them.
Yeah, I know, I saw that.
No snark. We don't. Every time that we've ever had anybody that has a question like that, that is just being mean, like, "Why don't you know this? You've been on YouTube for 5 years." There was a guy that said, "You've been on YouTube for 5 years. You should just quit." He was immediately kicked out. Like, there's
Yeah.
no reason for that.
Yeah.
Absolutely none. We're all starting from somewhere. It took me a year. This is no joke. Took me a year to get to 100 subscribers. For 2 years, I think I was like at 3,500. And at the end of that second year, going into my third year, I finally reached the 10,000 mark, because I started to understand what YouTube really wanted. And it
Yep.
had nothing to do with freaking keywords.
Right. Right. And I think that, but that's the point, right? Is as you learn, you share that knowledge, and you obviously are learning more because of that. And I think that's the thing that as we teach, especially in our course and our group, that everyone's great is they're willing to share, and all it does is it raises everybody up, and then the quality of everyone gets better because someone was willing to share. And I think that's it's just not a normal thing in real estate. Most people think I got to keep the secret sauce and I got to keep everything to myself and I can't share. And honestly, our group is all about that, and not like, oh, if there's a new trick or tip or something, we share that because we want them to succeed, and it translates down into their attitudes with other members as well. And so I love that part of it, that we can all be a community that lifts everyone up, and our quality and our videos and our content and our leads, all of that is just so much better.
I all of a sudden had this thing of like, good gratitude creates a good attitude.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It does. It really does. I don't even remember where that came from. I think it was camp.
You're like around the campfire singing.
Yeah, yeah, like when you go to church camp, they always
Yeah.
are like, "Good attitude creates good gratitude," and I'm like, "Oh, okay, I get it. I get it now. It finally sunk in." They were right.
Oh,
But
man.
I know most people are here for our reviews. We're going to be doing those reviews, but there was a couple questions that came in, and one of the questions, I'm going to go ahead and put it on the screen. I have a hard time because I have the camera right in front of the little screen here, so this is going to change the background for a second, fellas. All right, here we go. Oops, now that changed the whole thing. Hold on, let me turn off that banner. And guys, if you have a question during the stream, please put your questions in there and we'll put them up on the screen. And all right, let's try. Where is the banner? What's going on here? I'm so confused.
I see it. You got my quick. It's on there. We
Okay.
just don't have it on the background. That's fine.
Okay.
It works.
I was saying, my click-through rate on my last two thumbnails are really low. It's in the 2% range. Any ideas how I can increase it? Go ahead, Joe.
Okay. Do we have the YouTube channel that's the
I
person that
don't
asked
know.
that question? Do we
Well, I
want to
put
do
them
that?
if you want to ask anonymously. That's what I
Okay.
put.
So anonymously, without looking at it, my assumption is that you don't have a very good thumbnail. That your
Mhm.
thumbnail is not engaging enough, and then obviously the next thing would be like your title is probably not very compelling or juicy, so you're not getting a great click-through rate, because when you're getting your views or your impression as people are scrolling or looking, it's not causing them to stop to look at it and to want to click on it.
Mhm.
So there's obviously the it's just very simple. You need to make a more compelling thumbnail and title.
Yeah, and the other thing I would tell you to do is I'd start looking at other channels that are doing the same kind of content and look at their thumbnails and find out what's successful.
Yeah.
Like really look at the elements that they're using. Are they putting their face on it? How big is that face? Are they using words? Are they not using word? What kind of imagery are they using? And I've noticed this happens a lot with real estate channels. They get on like Canva or something, and they see the template, right? And they're like, "Oh, well, the template is fine. I'm just going to go ahead and use the template."
Yep. Yep.
And that's not going to work for YouTube. It's just not. You need to know what your audience wants and what they will click on. And the best way to do that is to study other channels to do
Yeah.
to
See
understand that.
what other channels have a lot of views and mimic it with your own style.
Yep. We have another question coming in, but you're going to have to fill it in while I pull it up on the screen because I just downloaded that question.
All right.
Um,
Okay. So, well, the other thing too is it can be more than one channel. Like, don't just go off of one channel or one type of video. Look, we talk about this a lot in our courses. There's patterns, and as you identify these patterns, you'll start to see certain things. And if you can pick up on that pattern, and include that in your thumbnail and your title, and really understand, like, okay, there's 3 videos, and all 3 of these videos, they aren't exactly the same, but some things are very similar. That's the pattern that we're talking about.
Yep. All right. So, the next question was finding keywords easier, but my titles are getting no views. What would you say about that?
I don't worry about keywords. Like
Yeah.
that's what I would say.
Yeah. So we always say the content package makes up three things. First is your thumbnail. That is the most important thing. The second thing is your title, and your title should complement the thumbnail. Like when you look at that title, that thumbnail should tell the story of that title without them even looking at the title. Like they should get a conception of what that video is about just by looking at that image within a split second. And if you don't know, if you don't think that, you're not sure, hand your thumbnail to somebody and say, "Hey, what do you think this video is about?" Just
Mhm.
so simple. Like, just look at this picture and tell me what you think this video is about. If it's off the deep end of what you were talking about, then you need to redo that picture. You need to redo that thumbnail immediately. And I would caution anybody about thumbnail titles, because I've noticed this a lot recently. A lot of real estate agents are making titles with AI, and they're the most boring snooze fest in the whole entire world. And they're doing this like act now, and then they'll actually make the title.
Yeah.
There, don't do that. Make a title that makes people want to click. Don't use AI as a tool. And all it did was give you a title that you should be working with on your own, because computers don't click on videos, humans do. So actually make it something a human would want to click on. AI is a great tool to help you flush out ideas, but it's not the tool that you should be using to make your titles.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing is that it's simple and easy and it doesn't really matter. I love the fact that you talk so much about how important it really is. So when you do that, it's a great idea. Flush out a few titles. Another thing is keep it, around 65 or less characters so that
Mhm,
it's not a long one. We also see this a lot where you'll have almost two titles in the title instead of
mhm.
like getting to the point and realizing that it's for a human that you're making that title for. So again, we fall into this where we want to over explain and we want to over like tell things or put these titles to where it's like, oh yeah, well the algorithm's going to pick this up. But that's not who's looking at it. Who's looking at it is humans. They're looking at it. So what is going to be engaging? We talk a little bit about when you I don't know if they do this anymore, but growing up, you walk through the checkout aisle, National Enquirer's there, and they have these juicy headlines and these crazy titles, and you stop and you're compelled to want to find out what's going on. That's what we're talking about when you do that, not these boring titles that make it to where people, that's why you're not getting clicks, is because you're not engaging them. And then obviously the last thing to help with your stuff is to make sure you deliver on the promise of the thumbnail and title with your video, so that you make sure that you're not doing clickbait, or you're not like, or yeah, you're delivering on it, but the deliver on the promise is 5 minutes into the video rather than like right in the beginning where you're getting to hook them in.
Exactly. Exactly. People don't focus enough on about that title and thumbnail enough. If anybody knows me, they know that I don't even make the video unless it has a really good title and thumbnail. And people do it backwards. They'll say, "Oh, I just filmed this video. Like, what should I do for a thumbnail?" I'm like, "Why did you film a video if you didn't think of the thumbnail first?" I thumbnail and your thumbnail and your title should be before you even film it. Because you know
Yeah.
what ends up happening is that whenever you are filming that video that you've already created the thumbnail and title for, you have it in your brain. You've already trained your brain to actually even say the words of the title as you're talking. So that's you end up just doing that naturally. So it all cohesively works together without even having to train yourself, because you've already done it, because you've worked on that thumbnail, you've worked on that title, and it just is part of your content altogether.
Yeah.
And that's
I
that's
mean,
what everybody should do.
yeah. But
So
it's not a natural thing, right? I mean, that's the thing that's hard, is it's not a natural thing, because like we're all like, oh my gosh, I got to make this video. I have this idea, and you grab the camera and you start filming, and then you're like an afterthought of, oh, I have to put a thumbnail and a title in. Okay, I'll do that, rather than flipping it and being a little bit more on the planning side of things and going, man, I got this great thumbnail. Okay, now I can make the content for it.
Yep. So let's get to the point where everybody wants to hear. They're sick of us.
They're like, come on, get to the reviews already.
Yeah. Yep. All right. So this is Colorado Mountain Real Estate TV. I'm so glad that she has a very unique name. Yep, loving it. She has a nice profile picture. Colorado Mountain Real Estate TV. Very clear and to the point. I don't hate her banner. What do you have to say?
Yeah, it's fine. The TV's a little hard to read because it kind of blends in a little bit, but it's fine.
Yeah, it's actually kind of irrelevant anyways because it's about real estate and it's about Colorado. And those words are the ones that pop out the most. Right. And I love that she used a Colorado backdrop, like the skyline in the background. Mm-hmm. Does it have much of a value proposition in that banner? Not really, but you understand what it's about pretty easily.
Yeah, I mean, you look right at it, you know what the channel should be about.
Yep, without even thinking about it. That's how you should think about your thumbnails too, you know? Yeah. So, all right, love her profile picture. What do you have to say?
Yeah, it's great.
Yep. Let's see what her about section. Look, they don't even have the about section anymore. You see, remember you used to have tab.
It used to be there. Now it's just a pop up, huh?
It's just a pop up now. Today I thought there was something wrong. I couldn't find it on a channel. I'm like,
you're like, where'd it go?
I'm so glad that I spotted that before the show because I would have been looking like a fool.
We're the experts, but we don't know where the about is.
Yeah, but that just tells you how much YouTube changes on a daily basis. I mean, this just happened. So anyways, as a broker associated with Sotheby's, Bregman Christie Cotton, I don't love her about section. Do you?
I think it should be more about what they're going to get in the channel. It's really more about her rather than what the viewer is going to get from it.
I would take this whole first sentence off and say this channel serves as a hub for all the best. Like I would have put this part, the broker and stuff, down here. But this channel serves as a hub for all the best that the Summit County real estate has to offer. I wouldn't even put subscribe. But I would just rework this for the first paragraph to be about what the viewer is going to get from the channel. And then the second half should be about you and what you want to talk about. And I know that you're really interested in these things. Like you love mountain biking and hiking and skiing and snowboarding and all this stuff. And I hate to tell you this, and I know it's going to be a hard pill to swallow, but nobody cares. They really don't. They really don't. Just take all that off. And then she has all of her Let's Connects to all of her social media sites. What do you want to say about that?
Yeah, just get rid of all of them and have it go to a landing page or a squeeze page where they can get in contact with you.
I was just looking to see if this, like the first link actually goes to a landing page because it is a like a website, but it doesn't have any place for them to actually fill out a form.
You can hit like the send a message.
Oh, on the very bottom.
Yeah. So that if you're going to do that, it needs to be the very first thing that they see.
Correct.
Not at the bottom. They're not going to scroll for that. I mean, I guess it has, what does it do if you hit send a message? Does it open up another like window? Go back up, up.
Okay. Send a message. It just pops down to the bottom.
Yeah, it makes way more sense just to have it go right to the actual page.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Like a landing page where it would just show this.
Yep. Not any of the other stuff.
Correct. I'm with you on that. I concur, my friend.
Yep. And I would just remove all the other links.
And the reason for it is, I know you probably I took these classes too. They're like, oh, everybody should know that you're on all these social media sites. And I've learned the hard way that that's not true because people that are on Facebook like to stay on Facebook. The people are on Instagram like to stay on Instagram. The people that are on TikTok are not on Facebook or Instagram. You don't want to pull them off platform unless you're wanting them to do something for you. And the thing that you want them to do more than anything is contact you.
Yeah.
So don't
Call
give
you.
them all these other distractions where, because them liking your Facebook page and them liking a few posts on your Instagram do nothing for you. Absolutely nothing. You want to actually physically talk to them. And so the best way to do that is just to have one specific link that goes straight to contacting you as a real estate agent.
Yeah, I think that it's a simple thing and really, really easy to do, but so many people don't do it. We
Mhm.
had one of our students sent a message last week and he was like, I got a phone call for like a 1.2 to $2 million listing because no other agent had their phone number on their YouTube channel.
Yep.
Like all he needed was a phone number, a way to get a hold of him. Like that was it.
Right. So, like, with that being said, right? So, on this part right here where you are going to redo this about section, underneath it, put your phone number, your business phone number, right?
Yeah.
Put that in there so that way they can get a hold of you. Make it easy for them. You don't want to make it difficult. I used to say no, don't put your phone number there, but then I realized how dumb that was.
Yeah. I mean, some people are gonna call, the majority of the people are probably going to request a booking or, like, request an appointment. They're gonna usually fill out a contact form, rather than call, but you will get the calls, but if you have both, then you're covered.
Okay, it looks like she's kind of doing she has a content strategy that she's obviously following. And it looks like she's kind of trying to be a little bit of a digital mayor, but it looks like she has a lot of listing videos here as well. So what do you want to say about that first?
So, I mean, decide what you want to do. If you're going to do listing videos or tours, do that as the channel. If you're going to do education, like the pros and cons, or like that kind of stuff, like do that. These don't belong on the same channel. They need to be two separate channels. And it's fine if you want to have two separate channels, but understand that when you put both of these on here, this is why you don't get the views, is because you're not putting it in like a niche down. Like you're doing two separate things. So the algorithm is like, well, who do I send this to? Because do they want education or do they want to look at pretty houses?
Right.
So that's the first thing that I would do, is decide what kind of content that you want to make. And then after that, focus on the thumbnails and what other people are doing that are getting views, and start to look at those patterns that we talked about.
Right. And even with this first thumbnail, like the pros and cons, you didn't have to write Frisco, Colorado on there because the title
Yep.
says Frisco, Colorado. So you don't need to say that, right? The second thing
Yep.
is that whenever you're doing a pros and cons video, one side of the thumbnail should say, give an imagery of pros, like beautiful mountaintops and some people bicycling or hiking up the mountain. That would be your pro. And then your con could be like traffic or trash or tourists, and it should look dramatically different on the other side. So the eye immediately says good, bad, without even having to write the word pros and cons. You still can do that, don't get me wrong, but the imagery should reflect the one side being a pro and the other side should being a con.
Yeah, it could be really simple too, where it's like a green check mark and a red
Yeah.
X. Like there's lots of things that you could do with that. But I agree, that thumbnail could be broken up into thirds. You can be the middle third, and then the left hand of it would be like the pro side, the right hand, the negative,
Mhm.
and they need to be vastly different if you're going to do a pro and con. If you study what others that have done that have gotten good views, that's the pattern that
Mhm.
they do.
Yep. Yep. All right. Well, I think that is a good place for her to get started. And I
Yeah,
think that was some good feedback. We should move on to the next one. What do you say?
I concur.
You concur. All right. Let's share this tab. All right. Living in Asheville. Here we are. We got find your happy place, living in Asheville, buy, sell, relocate, retire. So the channel is about buying, selling, relocating, and retiring. You have too many niches going on here.
Yeah, it's a very typical thing where you're trying to serve everyone, and
Mhm.
so when you do, you don't serve really anyone as far as
Mhm.
like getting views.
Correct.
So really kind of decide what type of service that you want to do. It looks a lot like kind of with from her thumbnail that she does relocation.
Yeah, that's what I would think. I love her profile picture, by the way.
Yeah.
Very cute. Very cute. All right, let's look at the about section. Experience Asheville like a true local. Dive in the heart of Asheville living that has unveiled highlights and challenging and vibrant city. So to me, when I read this, it's like you
Like a
would
tour guide.
like a tour guide.
Yeah.
It's not about real estate. I would make this. I mean, I like the fact that you didn't talk about yourself. Thank you, thank you very much.
Mm.
But I would like that to reflect the fact of that this is a channel about real estate. So make that paragraph about experience Asheville real estate in North Carolina like nobody else. Make it about real estate because that's what your channel is. I'm assuming it's about because it says I'm a licensed real estate agent based in Asheville, North Carolina. Our mission revolves around individuals' transaction magnificent region. Um, yep. I would get this Bitly playlist off of here. I would take that off immediately. And the only reason being, first of all, YouTube hates short links. They're
Yeah.
not a fan. Not a fan at all. Secondly of all, if they are looking for a playlist, they're going to look under playlists. You don't need to
Yeah.
put this in the about section. But I do like that she put her contact information here.
Yeah.
Yep. And
What she could put up there at the top is you want to just book a call and then have a link that goes to a landing page.
again with the social media links, take them off. Take them off. Nobody cares. Like you just want them to get a hold of you. That's all you need them to do. So don't take them off the YouTube unless you're wanting them, unless it's going to lead to you getting another lead where they fill out a form and contact you. Yep. And so she's doing well. She's got over
Yeah.
1,600 subscribers, over 123,000 views. She just started in 2021.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, I mean, these are simple things you can fix easily. So let's take a look at her thumbnails really quick. Oh, I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Like, okay, so it looks like she's trying a new thumbnail style.
Yeah.
So these look kind of like vlog style. Secluded but close to Asheville, North Carolina, custom wood build home house tour. I would have moved the word house tour in the front.
Yeah.
So house tour, because you see how she does the double.
It's like two titles.
Two titles. So I would have said house tour in this secluded but close to Asheville custom wood built home. That's what I would have done. Yeah. Very cute. All right. Let's see what this one is. Where to live in Asheville, North Carolina. Kendallwood neighborhood tour. So I would even said this, touring a Kendallwood neighborhood. Where do you want to live in Asheville? And you're asking them a question. All right. So then this one right here, I take yourself off of it. What do you say?
Yeah, I would do that and maybe even make the house a little smaller so you could see the price point a little bit better.
Correct. Yep. So,
It looks like she's experimenting with thumbnails, which is great. Like to see
mhm.
kind of like what her, I guess what I would be curious is to see what the click through rate is per video and see because they all look like she's doing tours for the most part.
Yep. And then I would because Joe and I look at these, like we look at real estate channels all the time. And one of the things that we've noticed on the most successful touring channels when it comes to touring homes and neighborhoods is that they keep it very simple with the thumbnails. They just put the picture of the house with the price in the background. And that's pretty much it, Sometimes they'll have on touring, like when they do touring channels, sometimes they'll be in the thumbnail, but they're super tiny. They're like little.
For the most part, it's literally just the house and a really nice angle of the house with a blue sky and green grass and then the price or whatever, or, just the colors really, really pop on the thumbnail.
Mm.
They'll even like the one $10 million Asheville, that home right there, like it would be there, you wouldn't see like the shadows and stuff. It would be just the house at like the right time where, when the sun's hitting it, so it's just bright.
Mm-hmm.
And it would be smaller so you could see the whole house in the thumbnail.
Yeah, and you would have 10 million in the background
Big.
of
Yeah.
big in the back of the roof line of the house.
Actually, that would be one that I would say if she's watching and wants feedback, I'd change that one right away.
Yep. I concur, my friend. I concur. And so like with that, you're doing the digital mayor thing. So your content is all over the place when it comes to content strategy. You're doing tours, then you're doing about wine, then you're talking about downtown, and then you're talking about the walkable neighborhoods. This is your homework to prepare to moving to Asheville. I don't hate that. I'll take that back. I'll scoot that back. Yeah, so just I would work on your content strategy a little bit. And if you're going to do tours, make it a tours channel. If you're going to do education, make it an education channel. But other than that, I mean, like your thumbnails are pretty good.
Yeah, they're good.
They're pretty good. They're easy to read. The words are easy to read. Yeah, just need to study a little bit. Just fine tuning. What does Daryl always say?
Small tweaks, high peaks.
Yeah, small tweaks, big peaks. And this is another one. If this is a pros and cons, I remember what I told you about the other person.
Mm-hmm.
Same kind of thing. It actually looks like the same exact picture, even though I don't think it is. So
it's either graded out a little bit or whatever, but it needs to be dramatically different. She had another one that was up there that caught my eye a little bit. That was like a pro and con or a relocating one. Go back up just a little bit more. I think it was right after these two here. Is there one more? Yeah, there you go. See how they have like the city and then like that.
Yeah.
That one, I don't think you need as big an arrow or anything like that, but that one I liked. With some tweaks.
Yep. Small tweaks, big peaks.
Mhm.
All right, here's the next one. We're gonna share this tab. Okay, Cascade Hassan. Sotheby's
Hassan?
International. The banner means nothing. What do you have to say?
It's not personal at all. Like
No.
this is very like cold all around.
Right. Like an opening, like an encyclopedia or
Mhm.
dictionary.
Yeah.
And then their profile picture, I don't like either. Their profile picture should be a picture of people.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like you look at it and it's like, it's not personable in any way.
Yep. All right. Well, they apparently they don't have anything in their about section. I bet you they're new. I bet you. Oh, they have no stuff.
They got like 143 videos. So do they?
Okay, here. So first off, I'm going to tell you this. You need something on your homepage because it looks like you have no content.
It's like there's nothing
It
there.
says this channel does not have any content, even though your videos, you have over 143 videos. Yeah. You need to reorganize your stuff. And then all of your thumbnails are exactly the same. You shouldn't do that. Your thumbnails should be reflective of the content that you're filming.
Are they trying? Is it like a podcast style or something?
I have no idea. Yeah, it is. It's a podcast. So, like, I guess what you're thinking that you need to make podcast thumbnails, but that's not what works on YouTube. So
You'd be better off just doing live streams if you're gonna do that, and then just have a thumbnail of like your live stream that you're gonna be doing.
all right, not to toot my own horn here, but I'm going to show them something. So, like my podcast, I have a podcast, but the podcasts are all my live streams. And look, I create a thumbnail for that podcast.
Yeah, it's different every time.
Different every single time because it's going in people's news feed. And if you have the same exact thumbnail, they're going to be like, "Oh, I already watched that one already." I watched that one already. Even though you wrote episode 27 on there, that doesn't mean boo-ha to them. And sometimes when you write like episode 27 on there,
And they're like, why would I watch it? I haven't even watched episode 1.
yeah, why would I watch episode 27 when I missed the first, 26 of them, But I make a specific thumbnail for each and every live stream. So just FYI, just think about that. I didn't realize I made the same exact thumbnail twice.
It's different. You've got like the bubble, and then you have, our buddy.
That's so funny. Jerome.
It's similar, but also look at the views. They were great. They had great views for it. So
yeah, 10,000, 15,000, 16,000. I mean, I know that doesn't seem like a lot to some people, but for a live stream, that's really good.
Yeah.
You're like, look, the one on Sunday, 38,000. Dang. Man, I'm making waves in the real in the podcast world. Look at that.
Yeah, so I think that's if they're going for that podcast style, put it in as a live stream. Just start live streaming rather than recording the video and then uploading it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm trying to find the channel again. I went off the thing. I shouldn't have gone off the thing. So we were at Oxford. Here we are. Okay, so yeah. Yeah, so that's what we would do. And I would work on your titles on these too. So think about this. This is coming in on their newsfeed, on their homepage, right? When they open up the YouTube app, this is what they're seeing. Let's just say this happened to be on their homepage. Weekend review. Weekend review of what? Clark County. Like what is it about? Is it about real estate? Is it about what is it? Is it about the weather? What is that? Is
you have no idea what it's about.
No idea. And then you have all these words on here that are very difficult to read. And there's no way in God's green earth anybody that is over the age of 30 will be able to read those words on a cell phone. So I wouldn't do that. Oh, look, I was showing this and it was my Candy Crush open. Yeah. Yes, I am a Candy Crusher.
We're doing real business here, okay?
Yeah, we're doing real business here. And then you're doing, I'm assuming, home tours here. Yeah. Again, like study other thumbnails that do really well. Just like we were telling the other channels, use your thumbnail to advertise the house and show the house. I mean, you're showing the rooftop. Who wants to see the rooftop of a house? They want to see the house. What does the front of the house look like? And if the front of the house looks like total crap, and I've had this before, had a luxury house, the house was freaking pink, not just regular pink. It was flamingo pink, hideous house, stuck out like a sore thumb, like a turd in a punch bowl. But it had the most beautiful backyard pool. So you know what I did? Take a picture of
that.
I took a picture of the pool. That's what I advertised. Because that house was ugly. It was so ugly.
I always, when I see those, I'm like, on the MLS, I'm like, oh, the front of the house must be terrible if they didn't do that. And sure enough, that's what it was. Oh,
here's
man,
an MLS
that's funny.
trick. If all right, so as we know, some of the houses in some areas are still sitting a longer, right? Best MLS trick I've ever learned in my life was that when normally you put on the MLS, the first thing you do is you put the picture of the front of the house on the main picture, right? But if the house isn't selling and you have had no showings and it's priced right, you pick another feature that you had pictures taken of and you use that as your front picture. So if it has a swimming pool,
change it up.
Just to change it up, and that works. So just throw that out there.
Yeah, especially because then they're like, oh, the front's going to look terrible. And then they walk and they're like, ooh, that looks nice.
Yeah. All right. Let me pull up another thing. Do we have any comments that came in so far?
I have not seen any as of yet. Everyone is probably too scared to say anything because we're telling them things that they could improve on.
All right. We got Kevin here. We got Kevin's banner. Kevin, you got a lot going on in this banner. I would take off the subscribe. I would take off the team. I would take off your name. I would take off the new videos every Wednesday. I would take off the real Kevin. I would take off all this other information here. I would take off this other thing that says Kevin. You have a lot of stuff that says your name. And then I would take off this turn on notifications. You got to tell them what they're going to get, because all they're seeing right now is that this is all about you and has nothing to do with them. What do you have to say, Joe?
I concur. I don't think I have anything to say. I think you nailed it. I
Yeah,
like his profile picture though.
I do too. I love that jacket. It's like a plaid. It's fun.
Mhm.
Like it. All right. I'm going to tell you about what I'm going to tell everybody, because first thing I saw on the thing was that they're all bit.ly links. Don't use short links. YouTube hates them. They hate them. Don't do short links. Oh, he started when I did. All right.
2017.
Yeah. My channel was officially made into 2016, but I uploaded in 2017. All right. So it's the same information we've given a lot of people. We're going to tell you, go ahead and take off all these social media sites. Make sure that if you're going to put your website, it goes to a landing page. Let's just see what this sell your home is. I'm going to share this tab instead. All right. This is not a landing page. Download a guide. If they download the guide, yeah. All right. Well, there you go. I don't hate this. Can you see
Yeah.
this?
Yeah, it's not bad. I still
Mhm.
think that it'd be better off just having that information right off the get-go, but it's fine.
I concur, my friend. Okay. Thank you for visiting my YouTube channel. My
We gotta go
weekly
back.
video.
You gotta switch the screen.
Oh, no.
There we go.
All right. Thank you for visiting my YouTube channel and my weekly video series, Real Kevin. I'm a realtor. All right. This is all about you again. I post videos. This is a lot of me, I.
Yeah.
So I would switch that around and make it about them.
You know, when you were talking though, or when we looked at his channel art, like up
Mhm.
above, I was like,
Mhm.
this guy looks like he probably is like a news station. And sure enough, in his bio, he did like a host for TV, something or other. So that's what it looked like when I saw it. I'm like, yeah, it
Mhm.
looks like he's like some kind of in broadcast or something like that, because that's just kind of that style of, how
Well,
those
yeah,
guys
like a
do it.
radio host. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
I get what you're
Uh-huh.
saying. But it has it has his name
It's
here.
just
It has his
busy.
name here. It has
Yeah.
his name here. Has his name here. Has his name here. Like, we know your name is Kevin. It even says it as your channel name. We
Yeah.
get it. All right. All right. Let's go to the videos really quick, because we have another one we got to do right after this. Oh, he did the red fin. You got to do the red fin. If you're looking to get a video that pop off, do a video about Redfin. That works.
Yep.
All right. So high interest rates, low inventories. Compass CEO explains. So I'm going to tell you one thing I know for sure is that your video is not long enough. YouTube is a place that they have to sell ads. And in order for those ads to start being placed, it has to be over 8 minutes and 31 seconds. So that's who are they going to reward? The people that they can put more ads on their stuff. Don't get me wrong, they're going to put your ads on there whether you're getting paid or not. So, there's like some people that have like this righteous attitude that they're not going to turn on their AdSense because they're like, well, I just don't want to because people could advertise. They're going to advertise anyway. They're going to do
Yeah,
it
no
anyway.
matter what. Might as well get a piece of it.
Might as well get a piece of the pie. So, this 6 minutes 11 seconds isn't long enough. It needs to be over 8 minutes, and I think that's probably why this video is so much better.
Yeah.
And you're not big enough on this one. They're blurry. Did you notice this?
Yeah, they look washed out and blurry a little bit.
Yeah, I would work on that. So you could use an app called what is it called? What is it called? The one that I use all the time.
No, pick
It's on
something. I can't remember. Yeah,
No,
I can't
not Pick
which
Monkey.
no, I can't remember. The one that's on your phone.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up right now because I have it on my phone. It begins with an S, right?
Snapseed?
Snapseed. That's it. Snapseed. So get in the app Snapseed, download the picture that you're going to use from Google and put in Snapseed, and then up the saturation, up the clarity, up the sharpness, and you're going to see a big difference because these look very blurry, very,
Yeah.
very blurry. It almost looks like you took a picture of a picture and then uploaded it.
Yeah, that's what I was like, it's blurry, but it's also, like, kind of washed out a little bit.
It's very strange. I didn't even know that was possible. Like, but they even now this one's weird because this is actually a pretty funny. I actually like
Mhm.
this. This is very funny to me. But the thing is that you're washed out here and you're not big enough.
Yeah.
Jerome Powell is clear and you're washed out.
So it's something either with however he's taking the pictures, he's not in focus.
Hmm.
So either if I don't know if he's using like his phone or if he's using like a DSLR, but if he is using a DSLR, then he needs to turn his autofocus on
Yep.
because he looks blurry, but he's not blurry in the next one.
Right. And again, over 8 minutes and 30 seconds. The other thing too is that like because people don't know your channel and what it's about, I would put like housing interest rates
Mhm.
higher for longer, right? And I would not so I learned something about emojis, right? So there was a YouTube coach out there that was telling everybody, "Oh, put emojis in your titles because it will draw attention." It wasn't a real estate one, it was somebody else. But anyway, so I found out through Daryl that whenever you do this, YouTube looks at an emoji as a word. So when you put interest rates higher for longer, exclamation point, then it goes graph, smiley face, monkey closing his eyes. I didn't know
I
that.
know, it's just confusing all of a sudden.
Yeah, then it confuses what they're supposed to do with your video, right? And
Right.
this is the other one. So then it says mortgage rates hit 9%, and then it says house fire graph.
Yeah.
So just FYI on that. I would work on your thumbnails a little bit, more than a little bit. Just the clarity, the messaging, and the length of your videos. What do you have to say, Joe?
Yeah, I think I just a little like we talked about, like just some small tweaks. The first thing that you probably should do is just go through and get a bunch of photos of yourself because you're using with different expressions and everything. Go back and redo that and make sure that they're all clear, so that you have a fresh set of photos that you can use as you're designing your thumbnails.
So like I just changed my hair. I know it looks amazing. And and I'm like literally when I get done tonight with all of our classes that we're doing, Joe, I'm going to sit down and have my husband take a series of a ton of video pictures. And I used to hire people to take my picture. Now I just have my husband do it with a cell phone. The cell phones today take amazing photographs. Just
Yep.
make sure your lighting is proper. Just have good proper lighting and it's going to make all the difference in the world. And it like if I ever have to get pulled over or something and they have to check my phone, they're gonna think I'm the biggest egomaniac because I have folders full of headshots of me, making all these stupid faces. But it makes all the difference in the world, especially if you're designing your thumbnails ahead of time, like I always tell people to do. You're designing them, you're getting all your stuff together. You may not even be ready for the world, but at least you have all these pictures in a folder ready to be used for thumbnails. So you don't have to sit down and oh man, I got to take a thumbnail picture real quick. You don't
Yeah,
have to
I
do
mean, that's the thing is that's part of your disruption, right? Like
that.
when you have like a series of shots that you can use, then
Mhm.
it just helps you move right along with, okay, I have that again goes back to planning. You have different expressions, different faces, different things
Mhm.
that you can go back and go, okay, which one's going to work well with the type of reaction that I'm trying to do? And that goes to that planning of what we were talking about before of having your designing your thumbnail and planning it out before you even make your content.
I concur, my friend.
Yeah.
I concur. All right. I think we got one more. All right, here we go. Yeah, we did Christina
We
before.
did hers.
We've done her every
She just
week.
had a I think she had a question though. Hers
Oh,
was but
oh, hers was about the keywords.
we already answered it.
Yep, we did about the keywords. All right, Joe, we blazed through them today.
Yeah, we did.
I'm s- I'm so excited. We did it.
Yeah, there's a lot of good content that
Mhm.
everyone that submitted some really good questions and some their channels and there's people that are taking it, some of the stuff that we're talking and tweaking their channel and
Yes.
ultimately that's what we're doing these reviews for is
Mhm.
to give you advice, to help you if you're struggling and you want to get better at YouTube. Like, submit your channel review. We want to do it. We're not doing it to be mean in any way. We're literally trying to give you actionable tips that will help you get better results, because it can be frustrating when you put time and effort into making content and videos and then nobody sees it. And so just that's why we do these weekly reviews, is to help you guys see the things that we see and notice, to help you get better views, which also lead to more leads. That's the goal with all of this stuff of doing it, is more views, way to do your side hustle by affiliate links and other types of contracts and things you can do. But the main thing is getting it to where you can get in front of a lot of people to see your content.
Yep. It is a hustle. This is your side hustle.
Yeah.
YouTube and your YouTube content is a side hustle. It's a great side hustle too. You can make a lot of
It, it really is. You know, what's interesting is, it's like people think, oh, I got to have this huge following and this big thing before anyone will contact us. And what's interesting is that's not necessarily the case. A lot of it, you start making content and you're consistent and you put stuff out, and in your local community, automatically people start reaching out. Hey, I've noticed you're making a lot of videos. Like, what's your secret? Why are you doing this? And we have students in our course that have done that. And they're like, man, just because I've been consistently releasing videos and have a strategy, it's opened up so many more opportunities than they're like, we've even realized, just by being consistent and putting out good content.
I have somebody that I like coach on the side, and he just recently was in Pennsylvania, and he was going to a game, and somebody screamed his name across I think it was a baseball field. I don't know anything about sports. Anyways, they just said his name, and he turned around and he was like, he didn't know the guy. He's like, can I help you? He's like, I watch you every week on YouTube. I knew that was you. And he was like, because he's from North Carolina and he's in Pennsylvania. And this guy that's been watching him on YouTube is screaming his name at a game, like, he's like, for a minute, I felt like a celebrity, like, I felt like I was somebody, because everybody was like staring at me and everything. It was awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's
And
awesome.
it is awesome. So just remember, this is your side hustle. You don't have to join an MLM. You don't have to be a boss babe. You don't have to turn into
Yeah.
a hun. You can do this without having to do all those things. You don't have to start selling candles in order to make it when times get tough in the real estate market.
Yeah.
We all know it's happened. It's going to happen sooner or later. And it looks like sooner or is on the horizon, no matter
Right.
how so just be prepared, and then be prepared is marketing, and marketing is through YouTube. So that's what
Yep.
I want to say.
I'm 100% with you. I
Yeah.
believe it 100%. And those that are prepared, when this cycle changes, because it always does, it's
Mhm.
going to be a game changer, and it will just, your market share will just explode.
I concur. Oh, look, we got music.
It sounds like some more of that hip hoppy stuff. All right.
Hey, and you know what? Oh, let me turn this down a little bit. I want to say this. I mean, like, I told everybody goodbye without even saying, like, look, it's not too late. You can still join the course. We just started on week 2. So if you're looking to get into the YouTube game today, go ahead into realestatevideogeeks.com and go ahead and join the course. It's not too late. We just started. We just started.
Yeah, we have our next call in 1 hour.
1 hour, yep. So if you want to join, you can join right now and get on live calls with us this evening and ask your YouTube questions one-on-one. All right, everybody. So long.
See ya.
Farewell. Avita Zane. Tschüss.